Well, hello everyone. It has been rather a long time since I've streamed on either one of the channels. If you're watching on Family History Fanatics, can you put an FHF in the comment section? That's for Family History Fanatics. If you're watching over on the Write Your Family History channel, just type "write" in the comment section. This will let me know that the microphone is working, which is always important. And I'm going to just do a few minutes of testing things out, making sure everybody's here, and just saying hello. It's been a while. And then I'll get to the main topic of the day. All right. So we've got Linda and Ascertain and Rose and P. Smith, who's a channel member, and Heather and Sherry and Carol and Lori. Lori is over on the Write Your Family History channel. Thank you so much for watching over there. And Corinne, she's over there on Write Your Family History. And Seamus is on Family History Fanatics. Randy, hey, how the heck are you, buddy? You are a longtime friend. Hi from Palacios. Thank you, Christy. I'm glad you're here. Marianne is from Family History Fanatics. Jose, no, you're not late. I just wanted to start a few minutes early because I wanted to make sure the microphone is working. Now, my next question for you guys is a couple of my videos have been rather soft. So how is the volume? Is the volume comfortable enough? I'd really appreciate you letting me know. Tara from Finland. Oh my gosh. Did you know that Andy and I competed in the world champion wife carrying competitions for 2 years in a row? We took 4th place in the sprint competition and we took 4th place in the long course competition. And we are registered or will be registering to go back again. So if you're in Sonkanjarvi the first weekend in July, please say hello. We are trying to podium this next year. So I'm so glad that you're watching from Finland. We have another watcher from Family History Fanatics. Okay, the sound is good. The sound is good. Oh, my buddy from Scotland. It's been a long time. Glad to see you're here. All good, all good. Checking in, Sierra on the Write Your Family History channel. Good job. Linda, channel member from Family History Fanatics. Kate is from Santa Barbara. And yes, thanks so much. It was fun to do the race. And Andy has started an AO Concanto channel where you can see our race and many others. So if I remember, then I will probably put a link in the description. Let me make a note real quick, if you don't mind, as everybody else is popping in. And then we'll get started with the topic. All right, so I need to share I can't even spell it. Channel video on. All right. So I left a note here for me. All right. I'm so glad that you like the writing channel. It's pretty amazing. Lewis, glad you're here. Diane, glad you're here. Leanne, glad you're here. All right. So I think we've done a good sound check. You guys have been so amazing in welcoming me back. There was a couple of comments I wanted to go through, some early birds who shared. Linda said, I've really missed your videos and knowledge and love of the way you explain things. So hope you can do more. I've watched a couple of Devin's writing history, but don't think they are the same as recordings and things. Okay. So I'm not sure what the last part is, but I'm glad you've watched a writing channel. I've been so worried about you, and the family was so happy. At least no tragedy took you away from YouTube. Nope. Andy and I celebrated 25 years of marriage this past summer. Our relationship's great. You know, there's some kid things that are going on. Not really want to talk about it on YouTube. Some of it just is the normal course of teenage years. Some of it is being a part of a team. And then other stuff I can't really talk about. Let's see, you've missed the live stream so much, and I'm so glad you love them. If I can ever get a predictable schedule out of my kids, then I can rejoin doing some of these live streams. I enjoy it. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. So thank you so much. Marianne said you love us. Much love to us and our family. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. And so you're wondering if we were concentrating on the training for the wife carrying thing in Europe. Yes and no. Um, to an extent, Andy and I have lost, he lost 40 pounds and I lost 30 pounds, and that takes up a lot of time. And now the training is different. We want to podium. And so to guarantee that we get on the podium, Andy has to train differently. He has to train for speed, and I still have to lose that last stubborn 10 pounds, which means I have to lift weights, which I have been very inconsistent about. So yes, we're still training for it. As I alluded to, I think it was Tara from Finland. We're going to be going back. We are going to be going to Australia next year in September. Jill Ball has already said she's going to try to meet up with us at the wife carrying competition there. And who knows, we really love doing this wife carrying competition. So yes and no, there's a little bit of training, but that's not always going on. Ken White, you had said, sorry to see that Andy won't be joining you in an explanation. I look forward to hearing your thoughts, as many in our genealogy group are disappointed in the way corporate genealogy companies are heading. You're tapping into something I'm going to talk about, but I think it's bigger than just corporate genealogy. I think it's the genealogy community. And I have a lot of anxiety about going into this topic. Crystal said she's looking forward to hearing what I have to share. I've missed a number of comments. Let's see if there's anything else hopping in. Thank you for the congratulations. 25 years is quite a milestone. And yeah, the weight loss has been really, really good. Small and simple things make that weight loss go away. So now that I have welcomed you all here, we have so many people joining on both channels. Let me start getting into this topic. The concerns that I've had and why Andy and I quit YouTube. Someone earlier today had said, I just subscribed and now you're quitting. Bye. Well, my darling, we're on the fence. We're on the fence on whether we should be participating in the genealogy community any further. Let me share this thought from someone I admire. He's John Deloney. He's on the Ramsey Network, and he talks a lot about mental health topics. And he talks about living a non-anxious life. But right now, I'm having a little bit of a panic attack. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to get into the topic. Okay? So run into it. Don't run away from it. It's best if others go with you. I almost never recommend someone going alone. But know this, to truly heal from anxiety, you have to head into the fire towards the things that set off your body alarms. You have to be honest about the changes you need to make, the relationships you need to end or begin. You will probably have to clean up your finances and reconsider your work, and cannot be painful. But on the other side of pain is peace. You'll be free. You're worth the adventure. All right. So, and Gianna, Building the Non-Anxious Life. I think that's the book that you were referring to. It is a really, really good book. So let's head into some of the things I want to share with you today. I think my best approach right now is I'm probably going to go on a little bit of a monologue. I'll share a few more things on screen. And then, yeah, I will take your comments and questions. So don't get mad at me. I'm going to ignore the chat for just a little bit so that I can say what has been on my heart and on my mind. Okay, so as I've said, it's with great anxiety I make this video, which is several months, probably years in coming. I will lean into the message from that podcaster who helped me. The reason why I shared it with you is because when I was in Finland, I had a panic attack. I was having trouble staying on Andy's back in the race. In the first race, I fell off. even though we qualified for the finals. When we tried to go for the bronze medal, I fell off again. And when we went to the long course section, this was my last chance to medal with my husband. And fourth place is nothing to be upset about, but it was my fault. I kept falling off. And so I was so afraid of drowning. And in many ways, this topic is a drowning topic. But I remembered John Deloney's message, and I was able to stay on his Andy's back. We didn't medal in that one. We finished fourth place, but it was the most amazing fourth place I've ever gotten. Okay. So with God's help and your grace, I'm going to talk about something that's been bothering me for several years. As I've said before, many folks have asked why Andy and I stepped away from YouTube and creating genealogical content. Well, Andy showed signs of needing to step away before I did. I just didn't quite feel it the same until the fall of last year. I couldn't force Andy to make any more videos at the cost of our marriage and our friendship. So he stepped away first, and I joined him unintentionally. I just lost the joy that came from teaching people how to climb their family tree and preserve their legacy. As many of you know, we say if family history isn't fun, you're doing it wrong. Creating videos stopped being enjoyable, so we both took a quiet break. Multiple times over this last year, I was ready to come back, and the family history, the Write Your Family History channel saw me struggling to come back, but then I just couldn't do it anymore. I knew I would need to explain, but how can I be honest? You know, I can refer to the kids' busy schedules with band and swimming and high school and college classes, and those are true. They are time-consuming and they were challenging, but there are other reasons for our break. I can't share some of the things happening behind the scenes because they are private, even though they're very heartbreaking matters. So if you just want to throw us into prayers for the heartbreaking, unknown matters, we would very much appreciate it. But let's talk about something that all of you might be aware of what's brewing on for the last 8 years. And I didn't know I needed to address it. That is until I saw genealogists turn on each other following the US presidential election. It's a repeat of some of the antics following the election of 2016 and throughout the COVID-19 lockdowns. But this year, it's worse and it's escalating. I have to breathe occasionally. I do apologize for that. So I pondered what to do and felt like I should finally speak out about why Andy and I have considered quitting YouTube and leaving the genealogy community altogether. This is hard. So let's talk about the atmosphere for the minute. There's been bullying, toxic comments, unfriending, blocking, just a whole environment where some people seem more focused on tearing others down than building up our community. And it's not just a story I've heard. I've experienced it myself, being called out for things like sticking to historical accuracy, facing judgment for my beliefs, be it religious, political, genealogical, and so forth. And even losing out on work opportunities because I won't adopt certain approved language. I've seen colleagues support smears of my character when they saw the entire conversation and didn't call out their friends for besmirching my name. What hurts worse was that I had come to these colleagues' defenses at a high cost to me personally. And this was how I was treated. If my colleagues won't care how my name is treated on their friends' lips, how can I trust them with my friendship? I pose this question. If people can't even feel free to share their values or opinions, what kind of space is the genealogical community? Moreover, is it worth our time? And here's what's especially frustrating. Do you remember the themes of Roots text over the years? How about we take a quick look? Do you notice a theme? We're all connected. Connect and belong. Discover the story of you. Choose connection, reuniting. But it feels like too many folks in the genealogical leadership and influencing community aren't acting out these values. Contrary to common belief, genealogy is not that popular. Andy and I debunked that myth that genealogy is the second most popular hobby in the US a few years ago. In fact, a CEO stopped us once and said, "Hey, I watched that video," and it confirmed what I believed. So if genealogy is a small community, we must remember these things. We're already considered weird by our family members and people in the community. Whenever we start talking about genealogy, everybody rolls their eyes, right? If you know that you're weird, tell me you're weird in the comments. I don't want to be alone. But the genealogy community is meant to be an environment that brings people together, not one that makes us feel judged and unwelcome. Creators in the community. This toxic atmosphere hurts not just creators like Andy and me, but the entire genealogy community. When we took our break from everything, it gave me space to focus on projects I loved. But you know what else? I stopped watching all genealogy YouTube channels, listening to all genealogy podcasts, reading any genealogy blog, and I have two of my favorites in the audience, Randy and Thomas. I just needed a break. I still love you guys, so I'll be following you guys again soon. And I stopped reading emails from the company newsletters I received. I walked away, and so did Andy. Now, sometimes walking away can clear your mind and help you see the forest and the trees. And when we quit YouTube, I saw more toxicity than I realized, making it very hard for us to want to return. However, God informed me that walking away isn't a solution. I didn't start this genealogy YouTube channel for myself. I started it to help promote the spirit of Elijah as found in the Old Testament. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. As many of you may know or may soon figure out, Andy and I happen to be members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But on our two channels, do we beat you over the head with LDS doctrine? I hope you never feel that way. However, I hope you also respect the fact that I do have religious beliefs. And one of the reasons I feel called to do genealogy education is that I've always had a teacher's heart. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've been a home educator for almost 23 years. So when the Lord said, "Hey, start this YouTube thing," I felt called, both because I enjoy genealogy and the connections that can be made, but I also felt the spiritual components, and it all goes back to Malachi 4, 5 through 6. If you're secular, you're welcome. If you're Latter-day Saint, you're welcome. If you're Jewish or any other religion out there, you're welcome. I hope you have and will continue to feel that way for me. And occasionally, if I share my religious views, I hope that's not a big deal, because I don't hold it against anyone, and I hope no one ever holds it against me. So God tapped into my teacher's heart and reminded me that I could help make a positive impact and help to bring to pass the positive aspects of that prophecy I shared by teaching people how to capture and preserve their family history and share it with the rising generation. I need to be here working toward that goal, but I and we can't keep letting negativity shrink our community. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I had a conversation with someone before I went live, and he said I could do it. And I hope that you guys are feeling like I'm doing a good job and you're receiving this message with the spirit is intended. When we let toxic community members run rampant in genealogy circles, we're hurting everyone. I remember when a company decided not to work with me because I didn't use a certain approved term. That hurt. Not only did it hurt, they didn't tell me about it until months after they had quietly stopped working with me and never even bothered to have a conversation about what was going on. That hurt. But I'm not going to say who they were. I'm not going to do that. You know, the author L.P. Hartley wrote, "The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there." Douglas Murray said, "What kind of future do we have if we destroy our past?" So I asked the question, canceling somebody over not using approved terms, that's a clear case of presentism, and I stand against presentism. I wrote about it on my blog. I have it on the Write Your Family History channel. Presentism rewrites history, and someday we're going to meet our ancestors and they're going to say, that's not how it was. So I cannot be a presentist. I have to say it is what it was. But basically, this company stopped working with me because I used a single word to refer to a historically accurate state of affairs in the life of someone I wrote about in a writing challenge. And worse, they missed the whole point of that video. I probably shouldn't get angry, but it is angering. They missed the whole point of that video. I was trying to celebrate the person and the amazing story that came from this document. And in fact, there was a topic within that video, and some of you watched that video. You know that I was like, this might be a little bit challenging. Let me know, but I'm going to say it. And then if you choose to use it, you can or you can't. But did I get any criticism over that? Nope. One word out of 1,000-word video was enough to have this company stop working with me. And for a company focused on earthing up the past, it seems a cognitive disconnect to rewrite the past that we discover. How can we learn from the past if we don't have the truth? And although they canceled their relationship with me, as I said earlier, I'm not going to seek to destroy them. Instead, I will look for other companies to support. Situations like these are a real loss, not just for me, but for everyone who could benefit from a more inclusive approach in our genealogy community. You know that word inclusive? Sometimes I'm not really a fan of it. But before we go any further, can we define our terms? I believe in defining terms. So inclusive to me, the way I'm using it, not the triggering word that actually is opposite of what the definition is. It means something broad and expansive, not excluding any of the parties or groups involved in something. Inclusive. Genealogy is broad and expansive because it documents the entire world and shouldn't exclude records of people who have lived on the earth. However, not every culture kept records. So if you feel that something's being excluded, it's not our fault. It's the people of the past or the damage that has happened over the years. We're doing our best to be inclusive simply because we're genealogists. So if the genealogy community only welcomes one narrow perspective, we'll risk losing everything that makes this hobby so powerful. So what needs to change? What are the solutions to rolling back the negativity that drove Andy and myself away, making it hard to step into the path God wants me to tread? Here's my offer. If you've contributed to the toxic atmosphere, I ask you to take a good hard look at your impact on the community. I've read an unattributed quote about what genealogy is. Genealogy is like a magic mirror. Look into it, and pretty soon, interesting faces appear. Building the genealogy community with interesting faces doesn't come from cutting people off. It happens by reaching out with compassion and understanding. That doesn't mean you have to agree with every worldview. Okay? How many people in the audience agrees that pickles are disgusting? And how many of you think I'm crazy for thinking pickles are disgusting? I'm going to give you 3 more examples. I make the claim and I assert that the Texas A&M Aggies are far better than the OSU Buckeyes or the TU Longhorns. Now, does it mean I can't work with Buckeyes and Longhorns? Heck to the no! I have ancestors who are Buckeyes, and I have really good friends who are Longhorns. But if you're asking me on game day or at a swim competition, I'm pulling for the Aggies. Here's one that hits close to home. I feel homeschooling is the best option for having catered education for U.S. children. In some places, that's fighting words, but are you going to hold it against me? And here's the last one. And this one I felt for very many years. The Latter-day Saint Church is not only Christian, it's not a cult. You may disagree with me, and that's okay, but we both can do genealogy together. I like this Chinese proverb, and I did my due diligence to see if it was actually true. And it is. To forget one's ancestor is to be a brook without a source, a tree without roots. In the genealogy community, this is what we have to remember, and this is what we have to build towards. Otherwise, all those people who think we're weird are going to be right. It is weird to do genealogy research. But I know it's possible to strengthen this community. How do I know? Well, by contrast, give me a second. Whew, this is so hard. By contrast, I had another company contact me. Apparently, I did something that didn't really like because I criticized one of their new products that they were putting on out to the world. They didn't like my approach, but they handled it respectfully. They asked for a private meeting, shared their concerns, and asked how we could move forward in a positive direction. They even heard my side of things and why I did what I did. They didn't want to shut down my honest review, but they wanted to help create a positive balance between critique and toxicity. They felt I was getting too close to being hostile, if that's the right word. Help me think of the right word. But they wanted a balance. They didn't want to say all I needed to do is spew sunshine and roses. But there was a better way to do critique without damaging relationship. And to this day, I absolutely respect that company and go out of my way to support it. Imagine if all genealogy industry leaders and influencers took this approach. Speak privately, air out your differences, and try to build a strong path forward. I have a strong belief that the change in the genealogy community is twofold. One, it's the leaders, and 2, it's the followers. One mantra that I live by is members will not go where leaders do not lead. This adage applies to members of a band, a swim team, a genealogical society, and yes, the genealogical community. I strive it in all aspects of my life, and I may fall short at times, but I cannot grow as a leader if I do not have a worthy goal to aspire to. So I commit to being the change I want to see in this world. I will try to lead where I think we all should go, and that is the direction of positivity. Here's my next solution. I don't like cancel culture. I don't necessarily believe in boycotts. Instead, I believe in the power of blessings. Can we have a blessings movement? So for all of us, let's support companies and influencers and other societies and so forth that are doing their best to keep this community positive and focused on tree building and memory keeping. For instance, if you believe in what I'm doing, help Andy and me out by engaging with our content on both our channels, our blog. Comment on them, share them, like them, subscribe. And if you disagree with some of our viewpoints, just do it respectfully. There's no reason to be hostile, but it should be no surprise that putting these videos and blog posts together is exhausting when I'm up against negativity. And I can only handle so much toxicity, and my level of handling it online is a little bit higher than Andy's. Andy doesn't tolerate it at all. He just walks away. He doesn't cut people off. When I say he walks away, he just chooses to go do something else. He walks with his feet to something else. And that's where he's been. He's doing something else. And so I'm testing the waters to see whether Andy can return to family history fanatics and the online toxicity that's here. So while I would ask you to support his videos, right now he's not making any. So instead, support mine. Find my research videos, including the latest ones, comment on them, share them. Let me know that what I'm doing is a benefit to the world. And as you do that, then the algorithms say, all right, that's awesome. This is somebody doing something positive. And you're doing kind of a reverse cancellation because you're blessing, right? And when people start seeing the blessing someone gets from putting positivity into the genealogy community, that's how it changes. And you don't have to lead a revolution to make it happen. It just happens. So let us remember the messages that Roots Tech has been putting out. I believe repetition is the first law of learning. And spiritually, if prophets and apostles who have a little bit of a hand in coming up with these themes, for those of you who happen to be secular, whenever they repeat something, they're trying to get a message to us. At first, I thought the initial layer was, I need to connect, I need to belong by doing genealogy research. But do you see that there's multiple layers now that we're looking back into the past and seeing the themes that they put forth? Don't know if it was actual prophecy or not, but it is worth considering and pointing out. I invite us to be the positive part of this Malachi prophecy and not the negative one. We are all feeling the curse right now of not turning our hearts to our fathers and to our children by building up a community together. So I know I've been a little bit long-winded. I'm going to get to your comments here in a moment. I have addressed the threat of the future of genealogy community as diplomatically as I can. I've opened up about my observation and my need for civility and for connection. I have proposed my solutions for curing the ills facing this community, but I want to re-emphasize 2 calls to action one more time. How about we bless rather than cancel? When you see content focusing on what matters, then support the heck out of it. Consider the viewpoints and services of other providers, if you disagree with their offerings or their opinions, I mean, heck, who remembers my video about how I hate research logs? Okay, and the battle that started. However, I won't say or claim that innovation has happened because of my complaint. But I do think Goldie May and Airtable are alternatives for creating research logs because there's so many people like me who don't like making them. And so criticism can lead to innovation. We just have to do it respectfully. So as long as we are civil and provide our evidence, we're doing what genealogy is all about. We're living into the genealogy's proof standards. If you share the same opinion about content creators who are putting good into the world, then subscribe and follow and support and let them know that they are doing a good job. Bless those who are worth blessing and ignore the ones who maybe it's an unintended cancel, but it's not an active cancellation. I hope that makes sense. If you feel like that's making sense, please let me know in the comments. And finally, do your part to promote a culture of acceptance and curiosity. Remember, everyone in this space brings a different story. Our differences are what makes family history rich and compelling. And as a friend asked me to share, we're all a big family. We're all so different, but the difference makes it better. The more in perspectives we include, the stronger our shared understanding becomes. I know this to be true as I've traveled to China, Taiwan, Finland, Chile, Denmark, the Netherlands, Germany, and I know I'm forgetting other countries too, but also throughout the various places in the United States. Guys, we're not all the same. We're not monolithic. After visiting one particular museum in Denmark, I learned how much some Danes dislike their Russian counterparts. I had no idea. But after understanding a brief history of Denmark, I completely understand the hostility. And so now I want to go tour Russia to get the other side of the story. I had a similar experience while visiting a Finnish air museum and a monastery. Their perspective on foreign relations is incredibly eye-opening. After visiting China, I realized, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. I realized there are many things that country and its cultures get right that I wish we had and did in the United States. Shocking, I know. And yet I'm grateful for many things that are available in America. A balance. If we can appreciate the different worldviews and perspectives when we travel to other countries, why can't we do the same in the genealogical community? So in short, support the people who are building the community and be a community builder yourself. With your grace, I will hope that you appreciated the motivational messages that I've shared thus far. And as I wrap up, I have two final ones. How great, how glorious, how complete redemption's grand design, where justice, love, and mercy meet in harmony divine. Now you may suppose that is foolishness in me, but behold, I say unto you, that by small and simple things are great things brought to pass, and small means in many instances doth confound the wise. The two acts I shared are small and simple things. Bless and be the change you want to see in the community. But they ultimately ask for you to create divine harmony by leveraging justice, love, and mercy, the ultimate community building trifecta. Let us work together as a genealogy community that's supportive, respectful, and genuinely connected. It's a lonely enough hobby as it is, but it's more enjoyable as a community. Those are my thoughts right now, and I see 1.5 million comments. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to scroll through some of them. If you appreciated the message I share, I ask you now to share it with others. Leave comments that are committing to bless and not cancel, and to be positive in the community. So I'm going back. So many good comments that I'm seeing. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. So moving forward, right now I'm on the channel, on both channels. Moving forward, the Family History Channel memberships, the FHF Extra, Andy has committed to doing 6 DNA channel member only live streams a year. He will likely start next week, if all goes well. But then it'll just be 6, and we'll just see how that goes for now. Yes, that is a paid service, and some people will be upset, but baby steps, baby steps. Okay. Katrina, thank you for making the comment about sometimes you have to take a step to go forward. And yeah, you do. Taking a step back and quitting YouTube for a time has helped us regain our perspectives, try to tap into what our role in the community is. Thank you guys. I see these comments, and I think it's when I kept taking a breath. You guys are amazing. I really yeah, I wish I could give you guys hugs too. Oh, the other thing I need to say about the path forward, for the next 3.5 years, it's going to be very, very difficult for Andy and I to get out to physical events. With the competitive swimmers' schedules, with campus tours on the list, training for the wife carrying competitions, getting out in person into genealogy community is going to be very, very difficult. So right now, the virtual hugs are just about all we're going to be able to to tolerate. Oh, all right. So I'm seeing where I asked if people were weirdos. Genealogies, if we're genealogists. Everybody thinks we're weird, and so I'm glad to know that we're not alone in the weird. See, this is what community is about, right? We know we're a community of weird people. Oh my gosh. So great. So many great comments. Thank you guys for participating. It makes me feel loved. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you need to walk away and get balance. Yeah. So if you feel like the community is getting too toxic, step away for a little bit. Go for a walk. Go work on your genealogy research. Here's one thing. I was talking to Andy about this last night. For all the infighting that I've seen, some of the time that's wasted fighting could be researching your family tree. I don't know if that's controversial to say, but that's one of the thoughts I had. Oh, so many more weird people. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. You guys are doing exactly what I'm asking. Bless the community. This means so much to know that Andy and I have a place in the genealogy community. I don't forgive me, my dear mentor who's in the comments. When Andy and I first started doing genealogy videos, we didn't know where our place was. Thomas McKenty, among others, he wasn't the only one, but he's in the chat right now. He said, a rising ship lifts all boats. Andy and Devin, you have a place. Do your thing, and you'll build the community, and others will follow suit. With great humility, Someone finally said, "Devin, will you ever take credit for being one of the original pioneers of YouTube with genealogy content?" And it is very, very difficult for me to accept that praise. But it is notable that after about a year or two of this Family History Fanatics taking off, so many genealogy educators have come onto YouTube and have found great success, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud that we were already ready to go into the lockdowns with online content and online videos. So again, it's very hard for me to accept any acknowledgement that I was a pioneer. I was just trying to teach people to do the things I love. But rising tides lift all boats, and all of us are different. That's the other reason why I want to bring this up. You know, Jared Ross. Oh my gosh, I remember meeting him at Roots Tech a few years ago, and he does reaction videos, and his content is vastly different from mine, and it's enjoyable and fun. Lisa Louise Cook has come on to YouTube. It's something she had considered before, but she played around with. But now there's so many more of us on YouTube. When I started, I was told nobody wants to watch a video. Everybody wants to read a blog or listen to a podcast. But I stuck with it, and look at all of you guys here. So I think there's many more people, Connie and Amy, and I think Amy Cross. I think her first name's Amy. It's blank. This happens to me all the time. Like I'm thinking of somebody and I can just remember part of their name. So Miss Cross, Lisa Leilson, she has been doing some content, video content. I know I'm forgetting other ones. Forgive me if I am. Those are the ones I can think of right now while I'm in the hot seat. Leanne, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this comment. I am an atheist and never felt pounded over the head with religion on here. Thank you very much. I get a lot of criticism from the LDS community because I don't lead with being a member of the church. But genealogy, to me, I don't want to be just an LDS genealogist. I don't want to be just a secular genealogist. I want to be a genealogist who helps everybody capture and preserve their family history and climb their family tree and let Andy explain the DNA stuff. So that comment means so much, Leanne. I can't even tell you how much that means. Oh, thank you, Nadine. Okay. I won't let people ruin the channel. Oh, speaking of that, there was one time I made a video, and in the video, I told people, hey, there is a sensitive word that I'm going to use. And I'm going to tell you, this isn't the one related to the company. It's a different topic. But in the comments, there was some people who were really upset that I used the word illegitimate. Okay. I used the word illegitimate because it appeared in the records. And my community, you guys are amazing. There was one time somebody just wanted to wring me over the coals for how dare I use that word, even though it's a historically accurate term, and I didn't use it with shame. I just used it. It is what it was. I mean, when you look at a Spanish baptismal record and it says illegitimo, what else do you use? And my community shut that down and said, no, you're not going to besmirch her character. She already told you, yes, some people today may find that word to be culturally insensitive, but you're not going to attack her character because she told you at the onset she was going to use a historically accurate term. But when you write the family history, here's the kicker. When you actually write it and put it in your family tree, you can be a more sensitive word. But we have to call it what it was at the time. So thank you very much. I'm going to try not to let people ruin the channel, but it takes a community. Safeguard the communities you're in. Don't let people try to besmirch people's character. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Thank you for wanting to know what's best for me. And Andy. Oh, I'm not LDS, but we need to give them a big thank you. If it wasn't for the LDS community, none of us would be able to go as far as we have with our community. That is a really kind message. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Some of you have some comments I'm skipping over, not because I don't like your comment. I just think they're more personal. And so if that's okay, I'm just going to kind of skip over that. Okay. The most important thing, if they don't want to list your channel, they should unscribe and stop the hate tirades. Um, let's have a discussion about that, y'all. What do you think? I'd rather we not cancel each other and boycott each other. But yeah, I do want the hate tirades to stop. So I'm not entirely sure. Um, yeah, so I started that. Let's come back to that topic here in a moment. Thank you, Heather. Heather, you're doing great. I totally appreciate your honesty and your integrity. You and Andy have contributed greatly to my love of genealogy and I value all the time and talent you shared. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Oh, thank you. Well, we should not let them win. Let it be us. Let us be us. Okay, so this goes back to the presentism topic. I tell everyone you can't look at history through our eyes, but through their eyes. I couldn't agree more. So, Katrina, if you haven't watched the presentism video, I believe I linked it in both the Family History Fanatics and the Right to Family History description. Could you go watch that video and share that comments a lot? That would be really great. I'd really like that video to get a little more traction. If you can't find it, you should be able to email me if you're on my mailing list. If not, go to the familyhistoryfanatics.com website, find the contact form, send me an email. I'll send you a direct link. Oh, oh, thank you. Thank you. I do try to stand for truth. Now, I make allowances for disagreements. How many of you disagreed? Again, I haven't got to it yet. I'm still waiting to see how many people like pickles. So, oh, sweet. So, success is the best revenge. And to be successful, let us bless one another. That's my request. Bless the people that you want to rise. The rising ship analogy, bless those who are contributing positively. All right. So many great comments. Thank you all for watching. I know some of you have been here since the beginning. There we go. Giga Maggies. I'm glad somebody else agrees. The Aggies are the best. Here we go. See, again, now we can have talk about, right, disbelief. We can disagree. June thinks it depends on the types. Patricia, one of my oldest fans, who loves to find me at Rootstech. Sorry, I can't go there anytime soon. But she loves pickles. But she doesn't dislike me because I don't like pickles. And Dana is on the anti-pickle train with me. Nice. There we go. Roots Magic, Renee Zamora. She loves pickles and still love me. That's what we should get to. That is what we should get to. Okay, so there's a comment about genealogy elite, and if you're still here in the comments, let me know if I can address yours. There was someone I talked to. Okay, you know who you are. You know what I'm asking. Let me know if I have the permission to talk about that. Genealogy brings me so much joy, as it should, because of the spirit of Elijah and how it connects our community. Now, here's a question for Leanne, simply because you brought it up. You said that you are an atheist. Are you offended by the spiritual undercurrent for some of us to do genealogy research? I want to know. Okay, because the spirit of Elijah is the motivating driver behind me, and it brings me a lot of joy. And when I want to give up on that pesky relative that I can't find or figure out, the spirit of Elijah just says, "Hey, stick with it." So I'd be interested to hear what and I'm not just calling out Leanne. She's just the one who said that she had a non-religious viewpoint. But let's have that discussion. If anybody wants to join in, you're welcome to. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, we have a new channel member. Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Somewhere Christy Schubert North is a new channel member. Fantastic. Let me do a shout out, give you the channel memberships. Okay. So, channel memberships, you're going to get early access to new videos if I don't have technical issues like I did this last week. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to do one new members only video or live stream a month. It'll alternate between Andy and myself. And then you also have the incredible archive. I was going through logging all of the all of the webinars that we have in our archive, and it's pretty expansive. And so even if you just sign up for 1 month, go into the archive. Those webinars are really, really good. So you'll have that. And then if things go well, maybe we'll pick it up to more, but that's kind of the future. I hope you're okay with that. Right. So Deb, if you are getting frustrated with the topic comment, I hope that you and others like you who have the same sentiment go and add positive comments. Bless the comment thread. It would be really great. Oh, okay. No, I don't shame people for liking pickles, and I don't shame people for liking the TU Longhorns or those nasty Buckeyes or the crazy Buckeyes. You're just the Buckeyes, right? I don't shame anybody from loving them. You know that my dislike for those two colleges are all in joyful fun, right? It's part of liking your alma mater. I do not support shaming. I don't support shaming people who have different viewpoints, unless the viewpoint is to shame someone. Then we need to shame people who shame people, maybe. But yeah, walk with your feet. Walk with your feet. That is what I would say. Oh, we have a new channel member, the genealogy archaeologist. Welcome. Somewhere down below, there's a way to highlight you guys on the screen, and if I find it, I will do. Yep. Comment. Bless. 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 Flood. I would love to be so flooded. So when we say flood our channel, over on the Write Your Family History channel, flood those videos with comments. Okay. What that does is it tells YouTube, hey, this person is putting positive into the community. You need to share it with others. Okay. And then here on Family History Fanatics, it's the research videos, the ones with my face, or sometimes they don't have my face, but they're research topics. It would be really great if you flood us, but flood all of my colleagues that are putting good into the world. I'm not just, this isn't a beg for me. I hope that's not what it sounds like. It's a beg for all of us that are trying to do good in the world. One kind person at a time. That's right. Okay. Thank you. All right. It's a we, not a me. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. All right. What else? Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if people were going to like what I said. Bless rather than cancel. All parts of the world today, not just community. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, let's not just let it be in the genealogy community. And so I would love if the trend blessing culture catched on. That would be awesome instead of cancel culture. Okay. Positive attitudes, constructive approach. We are all family. Oh, thank you. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Thank you, Lori. You know, I will tell you, I don't know how many of you do this whenever you have something to, it's some big thing, conversation you have. Like I practice and I practice. I'll be driving to pick up the kids, or I'll be out on my 5-mile walk and I'll be practicing. I have practiced for the last 3 months having this conversation. And so it would be easier to walk away. Thank you for um, okay. So, a paying member for many years. Okay. Many people would come and say that they're having problems. If you are a channel member, that's the only place we have memberships. It is a YouTube problem. I can't fix it for you. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you realities so that you can then go and handle the situation. You need to reach out to YouTube support about your subscription, your channel subscription, and have them resolve the issue. If you email me, even though I'm kind of behind on my emails, that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. You have to go to YouTube, go to their customer service, and they will help you out. Oh, here's a positive. Found a 100-year-old steamer trunk linked into the name painted on the top was a Swedish immigrant. Showed my Swedish friend who showed me an immigrant's own chest. Ah, thanks. Hey, look at that. You brought some joy to the channel just by doing that. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so crazy. Discovered someone that I'm related to who's a mod on a gaming channel. It was a wild conversation. I bet. I bet. Wow, that's actually pretty close. You know, a lot of times when you go to relatives around me or relatives at Roots Check, people are like 8th, 9th, 20th cousins removed. I might be exaggerating just slightly. So yeah, and that's cool. I didn't realize you were that close. Okay. All right. Aw, Brad, thank you. I love the way you put it. Believe the days of cancel culture are over. You know, I was listening to some faith speeches. I don't know what you would call them. We call them like talks. General conference talks. What else would you translate that into a non Latter Day Saint jargon? I was listening to the talks, and they were talking about you know, they were talking about faith, right? And I have to believe and walk into the faith that the genealogy community can have a new sunrise, right? I can't wait to know it. I have to believe it. So there we go. Thank you so much. Um, some of you are coming in later. No problem. Got some weird genealogist. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you want to know another problem? A number of people, and I'm not going to use a derogatory term because I don't want YouTube to strike this video. Um, Andy and I have been criticized for wanting to be compensated for our time on the YouTube channel. But if many of you know, we have a channel membership, but you get the archives. Like there's so much great stuff there, and it's a relatively inexpensive. The other way that people benefit is I mean, there's over 450 videos that are free on both channels. And all you have to do, watch to the end and comments on it, and then it gives us a couple dollars here or there. So there's a lot that we give for free, but we do want to be compensated for our time in the channel because running a YouTube channel it's expensive. Mm. Okay. I hope Alice Music said she didn't know why I was sad, but I hope that you watched everything um, and now have caught up. How many of us are like, yeah, I do a weird combination of things, and online is the only place I can and be. Uh, thank you, hill climbing girl. Yeah, I wish I was more of a hill climber. My leg doesn't let me do that all the time. Oh, hey, from Portugal. My son, I know it's not the same place. I know it's not the same place, but my son just completed his mission in Chile, and one day we might get to Portugal. That would be kind of fun. Oh, Amy Kratz. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was Amy, but I knew it was spelled kind of different than the traditional AMY, which is why I was doubting myself. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Uh, oh yeah, WikiTree has been growing like leaps and bounds. Yay! Okay. Sweet. And you know what, Mel? That's when I started in creating videos, is I was a visual person too, right? And so blogs and podcasts, I just couldn't see what everybody was talking about. So I wanted to create the kind of content that I would enjoy. So I'm glad you're in it with me. Oh, not everyone teaches non-boring family histories. Well, you found my channel, write your family history. I don't want to write non-boring family histories. However, your first draft is probably boring, which is why we edit it. Okay. So right now, the plan is I'm going to keep trying to make videos on both channels. It's hard to restart a channel. There's so many systems in place that you have to do, the emails, the scheduling, and then you schedule a video and it doesn't go when it's supposed to. I've had a lot of blips and hiccups. Thankfully, people politely say, "Hey, Devin, the video isn't live," and this, that. And the other one person said, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't tell you because you're busy." I'm like, no, tell me so I know. But be patient with me as I come back and try to fix it. Ah, I do believe that eventually genealogy will bring the world together. I truly believe that. That's okay. There's a comment about there's a specific meaning in the Catholic Church that I don't understand. I don't want to put it on this screen because I don't know what that means. Right now, I'm going to try. But one of the reasons why I say we need to actively bless is because, correct me if I'm wrong, there's this psychological belief that for every one negative comment, you need 10 positives to cancel it out. And so that's why I'm asking for people to bless in the comments, bless with a like, bless with a watch, bless with a subscription, bless and share. Word of mouth. Hey, did you check out Connie's video on XYZ? Did you check out Amy's video on XYZ? Did you check out Devin's video on XYZ? Right? That word of mouth in your genealogy communities, so important. Leanne, I saw your comment about the word illegitimate. I'm not going to put that on the screen, but it made me laugh. Okay, Brian. Yeah, Brian, you're going to watch it later. No problem. No problem. Thank you guys for all your patience. Those of you who are sticking around. Okay. Is there a way to encourage people to disagree, to express it? Okay. I don't know how to encourage people to do it, but I can tell you how to do it. Again, I'm going to go back to the research logs. I dislike research logs. I think their time suck, and I would much rather have my research log process happen within. We got another channel member. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Sorry about that little squirrel moment there. So I had a number of people come and say, "Hey, Devin, I can understand why you feel that research slides are a time suck, but let me tell you my experience of I've gone through genealogy research and then I keep retracing over and over again. And here's the value of a genealogy research log." And I said, "Sure, that's fair. But what do you say about having the research log and a research report, or citing your sources, both successful and unsuccessful, in online trees and genealogy databases and stuff, and research where you're actively in, instead of making a separate research log?" That's my problem, the separatist nature of the research log. And we went back and forth, and it was respectful. "Well, I disagree. I think this points matter." And I said, "Well, what about this?" And eventually, here's some cool things that are happening. Like Roots Magic, Renee, Roots Magic is so close to having their task lists become the easiest research log in the genealogy software program ever. It is so close to take the task and convert them into a research log. But The printout is my problem on Roots Magic, right? The printout, it doesn't really come out the way I want it to, and I don't know how to do customer supports. But that's a conversation maybe I can have with Bruce and say, this is what I would like it to do. And hopefully other people say, yay. And then we have this innovation. We're in the genealogy software, right? We're creating cited genealogy group sheets. We're syncing things between different websites, sort of. That's another video that's coming out soon. And then we have a task list. We're keeping that out. We're keeping our notes. We're doing like one program to rule them all is my dream, right? But if we don't have respectful disagreements, then innovators like Roots Magic or Goldie May or Family Tree Maker or even Gramps, and there was another one, Excel to GEDCOM. That was a weird tool that I tried out recently to convert my spreadsheet into a GEDCOM file. Solutions don't come unless people start having healthy discussion about things that are frustrating, but we just have to do it respectfully. And then I guess the other thing is in the genealogy space, can we just leave our politics at the door? When we come here, we're coming to talk about genealogy. The only time we're going to talk about politics is when we go into my one favorite resource, which is newspapers, and we say, oh, my ancestor was part of this party or that party. But it's a global society. So one party is going to be a Whig from the places that still have the Whig and Tory parties. Show my little world geography ignorance there. But when you bump into it, you're like, oh, I wonder what their views were. And then you learn more about that view, right? And then you come to know your ancestor better without judgment. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Yes. 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 So Deb, if you haven't done this already, would you go over to that presentism video and put that comment right in that video? I would very much appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. And if you don't know where it is, send me an email. Okay. People are still having the pickle debate. I love you guys. You're the best. Oh, there they are. There's the little notification. Thank you, Christy, for becoming a new channel member. Much, much appreciate that. You're the best. Okay. I am laughing now. Yes, I didn't sleep well last night. I had to listen to LDS educators talk about scripture all morning, which isn't actually a bad thing. Anything to really bring the anxiety level down. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I'm feeling a little bit better. I hope that I'm an agent of change and an instrument in God's hand. There you go. Kate, I don't know why you would be offended, but I'm glad you're not. Nice. I'm agnostic and I'm not offended by spiritual overtones. You're always respectful towards other viewpoints. Absolutely. Let's talk about something. Okay. So I had a Jewish colleague and she had a disagreement with me about how I referred to a collection. She came on Twitter. I know it really is called X now. I won't talk about that. She reached out to me in a DM in X, and we started having a conversation. And I asked a number of questions, like explain to me what the problem is. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then she let me ask multiple questions back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I finally came to a situation where I understood her perspective. There's certain times when if I'm going to talk about church records, she's invited me, can you say religious records if you're going to include Jewish records? And then if you just mean like evangelical, Protestant, Catholic, whatever church records. And so I was like, oh, since you explained all of that to me, let me take that into consideration. And yet if I mess up, she doesn't care. It's great. Okay, I had asked Leanne earlier, about the Malachi and the spirit of Elijah and if she was bothered by it, and she's like, "I'm not offended." Mm. Religion and politics, that's another conversation for another day and not in the genealogy space. Ah, haven't noticed. Well, I need to be more overt. No, I'm just kidding. It's there. It will always be there. And here's the situation. So I remember going to speak at a live event. I think it was for a DAR chapter in Houston. And it was so embarrassing. My phone alarm went off. I thought I had turned my entire phone off so while I was speaking, I could be committed. My phone starts going off. And as it went off, I was like, oh, it's the notification for my family to gather and have scripture time. I just conveyed to you the undertone of my faith. I didn't know that. Because afterwards, a woman came up to me and she said, "Are you Latter-day Saint?" I was like, "Okay, what did I say in my talk that would give you that impression?" And she said, "Oh, when we gather for scripture time, Christians call it Bible time, not scripture time. So you're a dead giveaway that you're Latter-day Saint." And I was just like, "Oh, interesting." I don't want to hide my faith. It is a part of who I am. It has made me a better wife and a better mother and a better genealogist. I just don't want to put people at by absolutely preaching. Now, moving forward, you may see an occasional quote or scripture from Latter-day Saint leaders. It's something I'm kicking around with because I really need to be a part of turning the hearts. Okay. Um, But I won't do exclusive quotes in scripture from the Book of Mormon or the Doctrine and Covenants or my faith leaders. There are other people who are sharing really great quotes and points of view. And if I run out of non Latter-day Saint comments about genealogy, I would welcome you just sending me email. Hey, I have a couple of cited quotes for you. I went and I looked for genealogy quotes, and there's quite a few attributed to Mark Twain, and there are quite a few sites debunking that it actually came from Mark Twain. So, oh, okay. Lori wanted to fix the Shane part. Okay, no problem. No problem. It stands corrected. More pickle comments. You guys are funny. Uh, And you know what? You can say that and I can laugh at you, right? I I love it. I love it. We can all appreciate everybody's worldview. Okay. Their Another connection story. A distant cousin I found from Big Y Research and became friends with during lockdown is the reason I am now studying to be an archivist. Never would have expected that. Cool. Way to go with becoming an archivist. Okay. Thank Adrian, new channel member you. Talking about the way that that term is expressed in Ireland. Aw, I like God. Thank you very much. Uh, so there is a disagreement on the Faust comment. I just saw that. Okay. I don't necessarily find this rude. I have it as a way of so comedians always push the button. Like they push the edge of commentary, right? That's their job. That's what makes us laugh. But if you have the worldview that I am just going to not worry so much about people's religious views, right? And I'm going to use this adage to just go, whatever, then we, as people who are trying to say, I don't think he's an imaginary friend, but if you think he's an imaginary friend, and this quote helps you accept me for who I am, then I'm going to accept you. So Again, there was a little toxicity, a little disagreement. Let's keep it healthy. She's just explaining, this is my take, of why she's not bothered by religious people. And if you're offended by the George Carlin joke, remember he's a comedian and he always is offensive. And if somebody quotes him in this context, I don't necessarily think that she's being targeted. So Diana, I stand with you. Sermons, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. That was earlier. Sorry, that's a squirrel comment. Yes, I do love new members. So here's another new member. S. Foreman, thanks for joining. And we did Adam, right? We did Adam. There was another one. If I forgot you, please don't feel offended. I don't know what I missed. We done one. Oh, cool. You asked a question, followed my advice, and everything worked out. Aw, thanks. If you remember what the question and the advice was, can you go do a follow-up comment on that video? That would be great. Yeah, that's what's so amazing. You can both people you're directly related to and to the people that I never would have met otherwise. There's some of you regulars that I know, I never would have met you had it not been genealogy research. So thank you so much. Aw, it was cathartic for me. And I'm feeling lighter. Let's see how long it lasts. That is my fear. That is my fear. It is a huge fear. And I'm sorry that I'm always afraid, but I don't know. I don't know why the negativity carries so much weight in our mind, which is why I'm inviting us all to choose to bless, right? Because for every negative comment that a person trying to put good into the world receives, if they're not getting positive, it's really hard to keep going. And so it's a plea for me. It's a plea for my other colleagues who haven't spoken up. So I hope you don't mind. Oh, hey, John. I'm wondering how you are. All right. Sorry. That was kind of funny. Now that's the way to talk about politics. Marilyn, thank you for joining the Family History Fanatics. Make sure you get to the members tab and you're going to find the archive. I've got everything organized on playlist. Yeah, you guys help me laugh. Yeah. Oh, thanks, June. You always remind everybody to like. So yeah, I haven't even checked the like count. So I'm hoping it's okay. All right. Okay. I did not see a follow-up about the one comment, so I'm just going to let it just sit there. Okay. All right. I'm still trying to catch up. Maryland. Where was that? Maryland. Okay. There's a question. I'm going to come back to it in a moment, Tara. My son and I disagree politically. He came to me the other day and we had a civil, respectful discussion, and I thanked him for the discussion and said I wish the world could do the same. Amen. Everybody say amen in the comments. That one is worth an amen. And then, yeah, if you feel that this stream has been a positive contribution to the conversation, please hit a like. After the stream, go to the comments and continue the conversation. I'll probably be wrapping it up soon. So many of you have taken the time to come watch. I want to give you your due. You and Andy have always inspired me so much that I began my own genealogy blog and website. Keep up the good work and keep a discussion truth in your presentation. Aw, thanks. Memory lanes. If you're putting good in the world, I need to know where your blog is. So send me an email, or if you don't have my email, go to the contact form on the Family History Fanatics website and send it to me that way. Uh, Katrina, I'm glad you're not a fuss about religion. Um, Religion is a relevant part about looking into history. You can't escape it. And you also have to be grateful for the churches that kept records before the government did. Yes, we were seeing your comments. I was just way the heck behind. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, yeah, Stacy, I'm not going to share your comment because I don't want to spew the hate, but I acknowledge your comment about how upsetting it is. I have been called a member of a cult since I was a teenager. People unfriended me back then because I was Latter-day Saint, and I didn't even go to church that much. Lori is a new channel member. Thank you so much. Thanks. I don't even know who Christopher Hitchens is, or Chris Hitchens. I've heard the name a million times, I think. Am I thinking of the right guy? No, no worries. If you have to bail out early, it's not a problem. This part is just the fun part. You've been researching methods for months about note taking. Okay, so let me give you a little spill. Put research notes in the place that you research. Okay. So if you build your family search, your tree on family search, you've got two places. You've got the recent statements, but those can change. So, but you have the notes, and then you have the sources where you can also put notes, and then you have the collaboration tabs where you can keep notes and you can keep questions and stuff like that. Ancestry. Krista Callan has talked a lot about how there's two places, and of course I can't remember them when I need it, but there's one place where it's private notes and another place where there's public notes. I would put it there. Even on the actual events, there's a place to do a little description, and you can put like small notes. This is a lot of times where I will put the address or the unit number for the Ohio 133rd, things like that. In Roots Magic, every event has a place where you can put notes, and then you have the person and the marriage relationships where you can put notes. Put notes where you research. Again, if you're going to do a massive research project because you have a complicated research question or you're trying to get certification of some kind, then you start with a research plan, and then you research, and you put your notes right there, and you put your source citations right there, and eventually you turn that into a research report when you're complete. So those are the places that I would put research notes. And if anybody else has other thoughts after the video is done, can you share your ideas? Because then we can have this place we can review later. Lots of amens. Yay. Thank you so much. Oh, there you go. Church records in Portuguese. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Marilyn. I knew it. I couldn't remember it. And look, lots of people came on to help too. I think I'm all finally caught up. There you go. There you go. I'm all caught up. Christopher Hitchens is a journalist, author, and gleeful provocateur. That's probably what gets him in trouble. Who made his goal to make people justify whatever they believed. There you go. There you go. Sounds like Peter Boghossian, who does street epistemology and uses the Socratic method to get people to defend their point of view. That's kind of cool. All right, so I'm all caught up. Last chance. Oh, there is a question. Last chance to have any other comments before I head out. Oh, apparently there's research. Hey, Stacy, before I get to Tara's comment, could you put a link to the video that you like the most on Connie's channel in the main comments once we stop this live? And I'd appreciate that. That way we can keep the conversation going about research notes there, because people won't be able to click the link. Because if I go and chop off the first part, of this video to kind of cut it out and get people straight to the commentary, then this chat's going to go away, right? So if you can do that for me after we go live, there'll be a main comment section. If you can't do it right now, sometimes you can actually put a comment in the main section while I'm live, but usually not after. Hey, there's some more comments. Hang on. But I need to respond to this question. Do you know where to find how my aunt's names could have shaped while living in U.S.? They're not hard to find. Okay, so you're from Finland, and I'm trying to understand your question. And anybody else who wants to help me make sure that I understand the question, do you know a page where to find how my great-great-aunt's names could have shaped while living in the United States? Move there. Okay. That is a very, very good question. I think what you're asking is how it could have changed when they came to the United States, if there's any type of way of anglicizing it. However, I'm looking at many of these names, and I don't know how much more anglicized they would be. Anna, Johanna probably went by Joanna. Maybe they took the H out of Johanna, and became Joanna. Maria, that's so common. Elizabeth, it could have been Elizabeth or Lizzie. Jenny, Katerina, I love that name, Katerina. Ooh, Kate had an idea. Betsy. So the overall question I think you're asking is, I know they immigrated to the United States. They likely have a different name. How could I try to figure that out? One of my strategies is when I'm struggling to find somebody specific is to see if I can figure out someone else in the group, like a father or a cousin or even a townsman who migrated with them, and see if I can research them and then pick up these other folks. But you're also talking early 1900s. Early 1900s, if they're not of age, one record collection, my favorite record collection, is city directories. They could show up there even starting in the 1920s if they lived long enough to be there in the 1920s, and particularly if they are of age. Some of the women are listed in city directories, and so we would really focus on the surname and then see if you can pick up these other names. Yeah, some people just changed their names just because. Yeah, James Garnett, his son Benjamin Freeman Garnett became Benjamin Freeman Lee. Here's some other suggestions. Maria married, changed to Maria, and Marie changed to Mary. That's another variation. Sometimes you can do a search by just the surname and no first name. I have videos about that. Other ideas. Let's think some more. We can have a conversation in the main comment section. Let's keep that one going. All right. Let's see. Is there a Catholic way to say amen? I would love to learn. I love learning. Thanks, Rose. I love you and your family too. Okay. Thank you, thank you so much. We're going to go to Lithuania this next summer. If their wife carrying competition is the week before Finland, we're going to go to Lithuania, and I think we're also going to go to Poland. So we might actually be going to your neck of the woods. All right. Okay. Oh, no married names, and you're trying to research. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Mary Beth, Mary Elizabeth, Elizabeth Bet, wildcard searches. So this is why I like the genealogy community, because sometimes I can't think of a solution right off the top of my head, and then you guys jump in. and give ideas. So let's keep that conversation going, Tara. Don't have So the short answer, there isn't one resource that will tell you name variations. It's just a matter of asking questions like you did, like what would be some conversions? Um, right. Checking out mentions of country of origin in obituaries, check newspapers. My aunts and uncles were prominent at school. Um, Bertha Jane became Bertha Louise, and when she died, she was Albertha Louise. I have a grand uncle whose wife's name was Mary Jane to our side of the family. Well, it turns out that was her nickname because her brother teased her about wearing Mary Jane's shoes. I'm not sure. Just Google Mary Jane shoes from like the 1950s and you'll get a picture of what those are. I'm not sure if Mary Jane shoes make sense over in Finland. Um, but she was called Mary Jane by her brother because she wore them all the time, but her real name was Anne. So there isn't the short answer. There's not one specific resource. It's just a matter of asking people, hey, I have this question. What would you do? And I'm seeing so many great suggestions here of different ways you can reverse name shirts. Yep. I find forenames turn it into a first name. Oh, that's a good one too. Sometimes the record puts a surname in the given name spot and the given name in the surname spot. So that's a good tip. Look, see, that's what I love about this community. So thanks for asking. I think we're going to wrap it up. Oh, I don't know of which you're talking about. I think of a song "Sweet Mary Jane," if I'm not mistaken, in the heavy metal band era. So I don't know if that's what you were thinking of. I'm not sure. But the best resource is just to ask, just to start asking people. They're going to give you some strategies to try. You're going to be turning over a lot of brick walls or a lot of stones trying to crack through that brick wall and trying to figure things out. All right. Hey, send me an email and then I'll forward it over to the planning guru, which is Andy. He plans all our trips. So I will definitely put that on. And then Australia. I don't know if you heard, but look for us in next September in the wife carrying competition. Andy's not here. He knows the town, but it's an hour away from Jill Ball. That's all I know. So she's going to come watch. But we're going to be heading to Australia and New Zealand in September of next year. All right. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much. I do feel better. It's all thanks to you. So my challenge, go out and bless. If you haven't subscribed to our channels and you feel that I'm blessing the community, then be sure to subscribe to Family History Fanatics or the Write Your Family History channel. And then watch the videos and comment on them. Give me something to do to know that this was beneficial and that I'm doing good work. I love those comments. So I do have a friend in comments. This is your latest comment. It's not related, but Chris was asking if I'm moving to other social media platforms, and the answer is no. I cannot spread myself as thin as social media demands I do. So if you want to have a conversation with me, the best place to do it is on the videos. You know, if you have a question about records or preservation or writing, find those videos, leave a comment under those. I respond to those. I do have the email. I do a little bit on Facebook post and in the Facebook community group, and that's about it. I still have a Twitter account, X account, whatever. If I leave, it's not because of a political statement. It's because I'm spread too thin. I've already deleted my Instagram account, my Family History Fanatics Instagram account, partly because I don't like the perfectionist, the toxicity of being perfective on Instagram. I'm not a perfectionist in that way. And I don't like the way it made me feel that I wasn't good enough. And so, Yeah, I decided for my mental health not to be on Instagram. So pretty much I am on YouTube. I do some email, but the email takes, as some of you can attest, it takes me longer to respond to email than the YouTube channel because I'm always working on the YouTube channel. Blog comments, I'm in there. And that's about it. It's not that I don't want to be active in the community. I just can't I cannot spread myself too thin. And social media marketers are saying you've got to be everywhere. And I tried that and I burned myself out. So I wanted to share that with you for what it's worth. List my channels. So I'm going to stop the live stream and I will put on each of the channels in the description, I'll put the other channel. Okay. There's just two, Family History Fanatics and Write Your Family History, which you see those two little graphics. Those are my two channels. And in the description, I also have the link to the blog website. I have the link to the Facebook group, maybe. I think, yeah, I can add that too if I haven't. Twitter, I don't want to add because I've just really not acted on Twitter, not because I have to make that clear. I'm not making a political statement. I just don't have time to be everywhere. So yeah, I can definitely put those channels out. Lavette. Okay. All right. Several of people have quit Instagram for the same reason. All right. One more. Hey, Trevor. I don't know what side of the pond. I'm guessing you're over probably in Europe or some point. I'm glad it's not getting to you. That's good. That's good. Yep. So let's do a little bit again. Let's do a little more than pray. Let's go out and be blessing. All right. See you guys later. I keep reading comments and I'll never leave. Bye.